Weekend Update
with Adam Williams and Kyle Birmingham.
We are back, baby. It's Adam and Kyle, your favorite first-year Follies co-chairs, here to kick off Follies 2020 show presented by Zoom.
That's right, Kyle. We are back. I'm personally shocked that they allowed us back on camera together, given that last time we did this, we managed to insult almost the entire student body.
Yeah, we did. Well, they can't stop us now. It is good to be back insulting people again.
And we do not plan on stopping anytime soon. Kyle, I do just want to say before we get started, it's been a great ride working with you this past quarter. Just wondering, what's been your favorite thing about it?
You know, it's been a great quarter, but I gotta say, life has gotten a whole lot better since I became the first gentleman of Booth. Thanks, Jenna.
Oh, Kyle, it is great to see you fulfilling your lifelong career dreams and ambitions here at Booth. You're really leaning into the MBA mentality.
Thanks, Adam. You know, it's an interesting experience going to business school with my wife. But I tell people it's no different than going to business school single. Well, I only sleep with one Boothie, but other than that, it's the same thing.
And that is going to be one more than most people at Booth, Kyle.
You know, I always say comedy and sex are similar. No one wants to hear it's your first time. It completely ruins the vibe. You're nervous, I'm nervous. You start to wonder if it's going to be any good. I'm worried it's going to end abruptly and you're going to be disappointed. I'm freaking out up here.
All right, Kyle, well, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'll just give you the same advice we give up-and-coming writers. If you're worried about your first time not being any good, just hire a professional. But if all you're looking for is ways to spice up your love life, have we got a show for you tonight?
Really?
No, it's pretty much the opposite.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, live from our parents' basement, it's Follies 2020.
So, Mr. Vader, our firm has spent the past several months extensively reviewing all aspects of the Empire's organization. We're excited to present you with our key recommendations and findings.
Based on interviews with Imperial officers, we determined a few issues with current Imperial methods for promotions and feedback.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. Captain Piet.
Yes, my lord.
Make ready to land our troops beyond their energy field, then deploy the fleet so that nothing gets off the system. You are in command now, Admiral Piet.
Thank you, Lord Vader.
Rather than choking people who have failed you, have you tried constructive and actionable feedback?
We think better feedback mechanisms would improve employee performance, especially since so many employees are consistently off target. Have you thought about looking into droids?
Droids will also mitigate complaints about the hazardous work environment.
summit will take you through the findings regarding operational inefficiencies.
The Empire seems to have huge fixed costs. When it comes to manufacturing, leadership seems to push the workforce too hard, which causes a bullwhip effect.
My men are working as fast as they can.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
When reviewing your income statements, we noticed a line, allowance for net star loss. Do you have any idea what this is?
We have expertise in lean operations and Six Sigma processes that we can start implementing right away to improve the Empire's cost problems. The final area we looked at was your long-term strategy for dealing with the competitive landscape, defeating the Rebel Alliance, and bringing order to the galaxy.
A key element of game theory is credibility. When negotiating, other parties can't trust you if you don't keep your word.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Picking up and throwing people is not an efficient method of competitive intelligence gathering.
If this is a consular ship, where is the ambassador?
And destroying people on planets can ruin a brand's long-term reputation.
In order to rebuild the Empire's image, we think a galactic PR campaign should work.
Young people across the galaxy care about the environment. What would you say to the Empire adopting some Evox? Let's face it, current sustainability practices leave a lot to be desired.
Your personal image could also be improved. Citizens need to be able to relate to their leadership. We think if they understand that you're a down-to-earth family man, they'll have a more favorable view of the Empire's brand. How's your relationship with your kids? These are just our initial thoughts about how we can comprehensively improve Imperial performance. Once you engage with us to actually implement these improvements, you'll start to see happier, more engaged employees, less defections to the rebellion, and a thriving citizenry.
And just think, once you've brought order to the galaxy, you'll finally be able to take a vacation. Maybe go to a nice warm beach, feel the sand between your toes.
Or, on second thought, we can start implementing those layoffs you wanted. Understood. We'll start trimming the fat right away.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have guessed that this is how business school would start, but since they still haven't reopened international travel, we're going to be doing our random walks virtually, like on Zoom. This is really weird. I mean, I can't believe I'm going to be exploring a foreign country with a bunch of complete strangers on my laptop. Oh, I think I can hear them dialing in.
Hi guys, it's so great to meet everyone. As your second year trip leader, I'm so excited to be leading this virtual random walk. This is going to be the beginning of a beautiful group bonding experience. By the end of this random walk, you guys are going to be like best friends for life. So who's ready for some icebreakers? Why don't we go around in a circle and tell each other where you went to school, where you worked, and oh my god, why don't we do fun facts? Okay, this is gonna be so great. Hugo.
We can't tell who you're pointing at.
Yeah, you.
Okay, whatever. Well, after graduating Harvard, I founded a hedge fund which seeks to fundamentally transform the investing paradigm.
Okay, yeah, that's like great and everything, but like, what's your fun fact? And make it a good one.
Okay. Well, in 2018, I was named the American Midwest Drag Queen of the Year.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah. By day, I'm a serious hedge fund manager. But by night, when I put on my makeup and heels, I transform into Princess Caliente. And that's when I feel truly alive.
Oh my God, I was not expecting that at all. But yes, this is why I love fun facts. Okay, now your turn.
We still can't see who you're pointing at.
Oh, sorry. Your turn.
Okay. Yeah, so I graduated from Wellesley. I majored in gender studies. And after that, I started a nonprofit that sought to empower women and minorities.
Yes, you go, girl.
Thanks.
Okay, like that's great and all, but what's your fun fact?
I guess my fun fact is that, well, I've been to over 50 Trump rallies.
I'm sorry, you're kidding, right?
No. He's the best president we've ever had. Mark my words, Trump is gonna make America great again. Trump 2020. Trump 2020. Trump 2020. Trump 2020.
Okay, you need to settle down.
Come on, guys.
My friends! My friends!
Finally, I was wondering when our random walk tour guide was going to dial in.
Hello, my friends! I am so happy to see you! Welcome to my beautiful country! And yes, you guys are from this, how you say, Chicago booth? What is this Chicago booth?
It's Chicago, like Chicago booth.
Yes, Chica Boo Boo.
Okay, sure. We're the Chica Boo Boos.
Very nice. Chica Boo Boos, I like. So we are loving life, yes?
Mister, can we start talking about our itinerary for the next few days?
Yes. I know you want to have the fun. But first, we must have a drink. I believe the world of slides sent you a package with a drink from my country. Yes, that is the one. And in my country, before we drink, we say, Kurutahana.
Oh, God.
God. Disgusting.
Is anyone else starting to feel really weird?
Yes, you like my drink? I made from special mushrooms from my village. Wait, huh? Is that my mommy? Whoa. Random walk is so much fun. Jigaboo-boo!
Good evening, and welcome to Booth Jeopardy, the only Jeopardy format where the prizes are paid out exclusively in bid points. Let's meet tonight's contestants. First, our returning champion, we have Michael. Cute. Next, we have Philip. All right, rock on, Philip. And finally, joining us from the Silent 200, we have Sarah.
Thanks, Alex. I'm so excited to be here representing the Silent 200 and to prove that we are just as much a part of Booth as everybody else. My fun fact is that when I was younger.
Okay, Sarah, no need for a fun fact or the intro blurb, but thank you and we appreciate the enthusiasm. Let's check out tonight's categories. First, we have Boothy Calls. Next, Slacking Off. Third, Grades Don't Matter. Rationalizing Recruiting. And, as always, GBC Reps, a returning favorite. Now, Michael, as our returning champion, let's start with you.
All right, let's start with Boothy Calls for 400.
Excellent choice. Your close friend is hosting a pregame at Mila, and you know that the person you are interested in will be there. Michael.
All right, what is No Thanks? I'd Have to Go Outside.
That is correct. You're bored.
All right, let's keep it going with Boothy Calls for 600.
Right on. You are out at TNDC, and an absolute hottie catches your eye. Sarah.
What is, I approach them casually and try to learn more about them as a person.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Philip.
What is mentally calculate the odds of scoring a DFMO, getting sad because, you know, the odds are so low, and then give up and go to Taco Bell.
Yes, that is the answer we were looking for. Philip, back to you.
All right, let's go over to Slacking Off for 800.
All right. Your clue. You're minorly inconvenienced.
What is at channel to all students and aggressively ask for sympathy and outrage?
That is correct.
All right, let's try rationalizing recruiting for 1,000.
All right, here's your clue. I'm really excited to get some hands-on experience with like the day-to-day operations and actually implementing real changes in an organization. Philip.
What is I got rejected by MBB and now I have to spend my whole summer in Bentonville?
That is correct. You know how it is. That sound means it's time to pause for a quick word from our sponsor. This week's episode is brought to you by Wine Club. Wine Club, because as a first year, you signed up both you and your partner for a 2-year membership, and no, you cannot have your money back. All right. Michael, let's bring it back to you.
All right, I'll take Grades Don't Matter for 1,000.
Won't we all? Your professor sends out practice midterms 2 days before the test. Sarah.
What is, grades don't matter, and I have a lot going on right now, so I'll just skim them and take the test.
I'm sorry, but that's not correct. Philip?
What is, grades don't matter, but I have a deep unresolved issue with perfectionism and competitiveness, so I do all of them instead of eating or sleeping.
Yes. Sarah, we appreciate you trying and don't want you to be discouraged, so why don't you pick the next category?
Okay, how about GBC events for 400?
Oh, looks like you found our daily double. Now, you're pretty far behind in the point totals, but you could catch up right here. Here's your clue. GBC has organized a cohort bonding event, but there's no free food.
Okay, what is, my GBC rep worked really hard and it's still a great chance for me to make friends with my classmates.
No, 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 no. No, Sarah. Do you even go here? All right, that sound means that we're almost out of time. Sarah, God help me, we'll go back to you for one last question of the night.
Okay, GBC for 1,000.
All right. GBC wants to reallocate funds from LPF toward more inclusive small group activities. Philip?
What is free booze or we riot?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner.
Thanks, ladies, for making it to tonight's leadership meeting for Common Chromosome, Booth's most inclusive gender equity group on campus. We've got a lot to cover tonight, but before we get started, let's just give Kyle a few minutes to join in.
Oh, God, waiting for Kyle, as usual. were really a feminist, he could show up on time to one of these meetings.
Come on, girls. You know that's not fair. He's never late to these and said this was an emergency for something he's working on for Chai Bus.
I'm just saying, if he were really a feminist, he could lean in to being on time to these meetings.
Brittany, how could you say that? You know that he's a feminist. He even hyphenated his last name when he married Kirsten, despite the rather unfortunate pairing.
Oh, please. Kyle Eaton Cox, the hero.
Hyphens are just another phallic sign of the patriarchy, Deborah.
Ladies, I think you know that you're being unfair. What about all he's done to help gender equity in recruiting? We've all seen him correct recruiters' microaggressions and unconscious biases in crop circles.
Whatever. I still think it's bullshit that he gets to use his male name on his resume, though.
Yeah, if he were really a feminist, he'd legally change his name to something gender neutral, you know, like Alex, Pat, or Kelly, but before dropping his resume for any of these consulting recruiting events.
Okay, girls, I mean, his name isn't really his fault.
Ugh, God. Who asked you anyway, Deborah? I mean, really.
Yeah, Deborah. Maybe you should lean out if you can't be an advocate.
Anyways, back to the point. Kyle is great and all, but I mean, I frequently see him talking to men on campus. If you want to be a feminist, commit to the cause. No male friends, Kyle.
Yeah, especially Dave after what he did at TNDC. Kyle needs to do better.
Really? What does that have to do with anything?
Just stay in your lane, okay, Deborah?
You have to admit he's doing a lot for gender equity. Remember when he put together a group to go to the Women's March?
Whoop-de-doo. If he were really a feminist, he'd wear his pussy hat to class every day.
Tell me about it, Brittany. I wouldn't even be satisfied with all that, though, because I'd still be waiting on one thing.
Wait, what's that?
For Kyle to join this meeting. And for Dave to call me back.
Yeah, I bet he's mansplaining to his wife why we don't deserve reparations for the tyranny of the patriarchy.
He has no idea what it's like to get passed up for promotion after promotion.
I'm sorry, I thought you went to school on a full ride on a basketball scholarship, Brittany. And weren't you VP at your dad's company, Jessica? Why are you even at Booth?
Whose side are you on?
Yeah, Deborah.
Anyways, as I was saying, if Kyle really wanted to be a feminist, he'd absorb all of our self-undermining behaviors like using verbal fillers, not putting himself up for promotions.
Let's be real. If Kyle really wanted to adopt undermining behaviors, he'd just be a bitch to other women.
Deborah, you ignorant slut.
Yeah, anyways, I mean, it's great that he's staying sober with his wife throughout their pregnancy, but if he really gave a shit, he'd invent the technology from the 1994 Schwarzenegger movie Junior and carry the damn baby himself.
I know he's part of a campaign to get a woman on the $20 bill, but if he were really a feminist, he'd recognize that all coins are vaguely shaped like balls and start a campaign to get a silver dollar shaped like a vulva.
Wait, what? I don't even understand how that would help anything.
Shut up.
Deborah?
Hey girls, sorry I'm late. I didn't realize how tiring carrying a baby would be. My friend over at the med school perfected the male pregnancy. I'm transplant number 1. Oh, and I legally changed my name to Casey. Way more gender neutral.
Shut up, Kyle.
Hey Kyle, by the way, how's Dave?
Hello, America! Who's ready to play the #1 ranked NBA game show in the country? That's right, it's time for Meet Your Second Boss. where each of our bright-eyed, fresh-faced first-year contestants are introduced to people destined to become their second boss. Let's meet our first contestant, Jason.
I'm sorry, what exactly is this? I'm only here because my friend told me the Follies show would be a fun thing to try.
Jason just recently accepted a summer internship with BCG Chicago and has high hopes for his future. Now, let's see how that turns out for him. Jason, it's time to meet your second boss.
Hey there, Jason. So glad to meet you. Looking forward to having you on the team and driving some everyday low prices.
Sorry, I think there's been some kind of mistake. I'm more of a big picture strategy guy. Plus, I'm going to BCG for my summer. There's no way I'm going to end up working at Walmart.
What if I told you that despite a successful start to your consulting career, your wife will give birth to your 5th child and tell you in no uncertain terms that she has had enough of your travel schedule?
Oh, I guess I could see that happening 10 years down the line.
More like 5, but good try. Maybe keep it in your pants, dude. Next up, we have Sarah.
I think you have the wrong Sarah. My latest tech startup has just secured several millions of dollars from Series A funding.
That may be true for now, but nothing lasts forever. Let's meet your second boss.
Hey, Sarah. Super stoked to have you on the team here at Apple. It's hella chill. You're gonna love it.
I guess working for Apple wouldn't be the worst thing, especially if my tech startup doesn't take off. It's not too bad.
Actually, your startup idea is fantastic. It's going to revolutionize the world as we know it and achieve a multi-billion-dollar valuation within 5 years. Unfortunately, your partner is going to Zuckerberg you out of your entire equity stake, leaving you penniless. Samantha here will be your manager at the Genius Bar while you struggle to get back on your feet.
What? I will murder that bitch. No, you listen to me, you backstabbing little weasel. I will have your head if you try to cross me.
Okay. I think that went about as well as we could possibly expect, all things considered. She'll be fine after she calms down. And last but not least, we have Dave.
I'm not really sure I want to play this game.
Oh, Dave, not playing won't change the outcome. Let's meet your second boss. Your second boss, Victor, is one of the most powerful men on Wall Street.
Wow, that sounds great. I'm still in finance.
Not exactly. Victor is the biggest supplier of legal drugs on Wall Street. After struggling to keep up with the demands of your banking job, you'll turn to Victor as a way to boost your performance and eventually rack up an insurmountable debt. Unable to pay, you finally accept a deal with Victor, working as his inside man at JP Morgan.
Yeah, that actually does sound like me. What up, Victor?
Okay, that's all time we have for today, folks. Join us next time on Meet Your Second Boss.
Weekend Update with Adam Williams.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for coming to the Follies 2020 show. Since we were unable to charge admission for this year's show, we do need to make our money back somehow. So, we sold ad rolls. That's right. Ad rolls! So sit down, shut up, and listen to this word from our sponsor, Common Bond.
Here at Common Bond, we know that financing your MBA degree can be a challenge, and that's why we give you options when you're making your student loan decision. While traditional student loan providers limit you to fixed and variable rate loans, Common Bond continues to innovate. Introducing Common Bond's brand new organ-backed student loan program. By pledging your kidney, lung, or other redundant body parts to Common Bond, you can discharge your debt at any time by visiting one of our collateral collection facilities for a safe, painless harvest. I got my medical license online. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to these testimonials.
Everyone's in business school would cost an arm and a leg, but with Common Bond, just my non-dominant hand.
Since I'll be quarantining until at least 2022, I'm worried about paying off my student debt. I decided to visit a collateral collection facility, and one kidney later, I'm debt-free.
Apply now for an organ-backed student loan and be approved in minutes.
Liver not a valid form of collateral. We know how much you drink. If you think you can pay off this debt before you're going to need a replacement, you're out of your mind.
Hello, I'm Ryan Seacrest, and welcome to the 2040 season of American Idol, the presidential election. As a reminder, since Congress officially incorporated America in 2034, all candidates must possess an advanced business degree from a top-flight American institution in order to qualify for the presidency. Now, as a reminder for the audience, graduates from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton Business School were declared permanently ineligible for the presidency following the events of 2020. All right, well, let's meet our candidates. Starting with our candidate from Harvard Business School and current incumbent, Rupert Murdoch III. Rupert, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Ryan. Since passing legislation criminalizing living below the poverty line, America's average net income has skyrocketed. I plan to continue my success at eliminating poverty wholesale in this country by buying Australia and turning it back into a penal colony. The homeless, people making minimum wage, and retirees will all be sent to live out their days on the island continent.
You really seem to hate poor people.
No, I really do. I really do.
Okay, moving on to our candidate from the Elizabeth Holmes Graduate School of Business, formerly known as Stanford, Christina.
Thank you. I've started over 200 businesses and want to make sure that the new America is my 201st. They say that failure is the best form of experience, so one might say that I'm the most experienced candidate on the stage today. I look forward to creating an agile government capable of applying big data, machine learning, to tackle our biggest issues as a society.
Well, a failed country might honestly not be the worst idea at this point. All right, well, let's move on to our candidate from MIT Sloan, Human Personson. Human?
I am expressing gratitude for the words that you have said. Logic is the only way to make accurate decisions, and the election of me, Human Personson, is the optimal decision for the other Homo sapiens that reside in this country.
You know, I'm just going to call you Rosie, because honestly, that was just incredibly riveting. All right, now to our last candidate from Chicago booth, Miley.
Thank you, Ryan. As someone with a degree from the University of Chicago, I know the value of open markets, having studied with dozens of Nobel Prize winners during my time pursuing my MBA.
I didn't realize you had contributed to Nobel Prize winning work. With whom did you collaborate?
Well, not contributed per se.
Oh, I see. But you took classes from one of the many winners of the prize during your studies, right? And basically directly learned from the sharpest mind in economics, yeah?
Well, those classes conflicted with the foundations I needed to graduate.
Okay, but surely at least once during your 2 years at school, you went to their office hours to meet them? No? All right, okay, well, hey, let's move on to the QA session. Rupert, you know, we've heard some pretty disturbing allegations the past few days about theme parties you used to throw back in your day at Harvard. I got a list here. I'm going to go through it. Just let me know if any of these ring a bell. Let's see here. Cinco de Drinko, living on the border of alcoholism. Does that ring a bell, Rupert?
Oh, sure. If that's the worst you have, I mean, that was much more topical in 2020.
Yeah, maybe not the worst. I have more. Let's see here. Diwali Wonka and the Cocktail Factory outsource the Oompa Loompas to reduce labor expense?
I think you could argue that that's educational, as it's objectively a sound business strategy.
Well, you know, I think that's plenty of evidence of your character. I mean, it's up to the voters to decide if that's damning enough to keep you from being elected, but somehow I doubt it. All right, Christina, you're up next. Look, you know, given that you've bankrupted over plus or minus 50 venture capital funds in your career, how do you respond to critics who claim you can't be fiscally responsible with the country?
Well, for my previous business ventures, I always claimed that my ideas were good enough that it would be like printing money. As president, guess what? I can actually print money. There's literally no downside.
Wouldn't you be worried about rampant inflation?
What's wrong with an inflated valuation?
Yeah, you know what, never mind. Human, you know, you've been accused of being a little too emotional on the campaign trail. How do you plan on keeping a level head when presented with tough choices in office?
My human heart does often beat at an increased rate. I have often found that when my emotions rise, it helps if I count to 10 billion.
That seems like a reasonable strategy to me. Look, sticking with you for just a moment longer there, human. Look, there have been some questions raised recently by certain candidates.
She's made in China, clearly. Check for a sticker. I know it's there.
All right, look, I'd like to give you this opportunity to respond on record to some of these accusations.
Thank you, Ryan. These allegations are absurd and false. I was born in Hawaii, and I was completed my undergraduate degree at Columbia University. I'm happy to produce my birth manual as evidence.
You know what? I don't think that's necessary. Honestly, I don't know how anyone can be unconvinced by such compelling evidence. All right. Well, last but probably not least, we have Miley. Look, your polling data has been less than ideal since the start of your campaign, with many people saying that you struggle to connect and come off a little awkward in social situations. Anything to say to that?
Not sure why that should matter. I've been at the top of my class since middle school. Straight A's. So what if I've never been cool or I don't know how to read people?
The presidency is not a popularity contest.
Wow, you really haven't figured it out yet, huh? All right, well, there you have it, folks. Your candidates for the 2040 U.S. presidency. I'm sure everything will be fine. And with that, Seacrest out.
Let me know when we're rolling. What? We're already live? Hi, I'm Zach, and welcome to this edition of Between Two Ferns. Thank you all for tuning in to this completely mandatory protected cohort time, even though nobody knows what that is. I'm joined virtually today by Dean Stacy Cole. Dean, I'd first like to say it's very admirable that you were willing to change your first name for your job. Was it difficult to legally change your name from Stacy to Dean?
Wait, what?
Well, I don't want to get too political right off the bat, but I feel like I have to ask this up front. How do you respond to the recent allegations that the University of Chicago is, quote, planning to build a wall and make the South Side pay for it?
That's ridiculous. Who's saying that?
It's actually a direct quote from Dean Rajan's Twitter. We're bros.
Maybe we should try to focus on questions or topics that are related to my job.
If you wanted to stay political, you probably shouldn't name the school after John Wilkes Booth, don't you think?
We named the school after David Booth. He's been a very generous donor.
See, I actually heard that Mark Cuban offered even more money. Did you turn him down because you didn't want us to be called the Cubans?
Okay,
Would you have accepted the donation from Mark American?
Kind of stick to topics that have something to do with my job.
Let's talk about admissions then. Booth has recently been broadening its reputation as a great entrepreneurship program, in addition to its reputation as a finance school. Have you noticed a change in the quality of your students now that they're mainly rejected from Stanford instead of Harvard?
They're a lot less funny.
It's very hurtful. How many students do you regret letting in every year? Just the ones who don't get jobs? Speaking of the job search, how far to Lake Michigan do you go to dump the bodies of the second years who don't get jobs before graduation? 2 miles? More? We'll talk when we're done rolling. On another note, looks like there's been some recruiting for new deans. Do you hire them directly from your hair salon or just make them get the haircut after?
Zach, are you still looking for a job? Have you finally thought about maybe getting your hair cut? How's it going with the ladies?
It's been a tough talking season. Probably because the class is still only 40% female.
Nothing to do maybe with the look?
My mom says I'm very handsome. I recently saw a heartbreaking story on Slack. One of your students was forced to sell her second chinchilla fur coat just to pay tuition. What are you doing about the rising cost of tuition? And also, why did you buy it from her?
Whoa. I do not wear fur. But if I did, she wanted like 10K for that coat. Fashion doesn't pay me enough to buy those kinds of items.
Probably because you don't have an MBA. But speaking of finances, I have a great idea for a scholarship I want to run by you. It's called the Ronald Reagan Memorial Trickle-Down Scholarship. See, you give students who made the most money before Booth a full ride, and then just expect they'll pass on the tuition savings to their friends by buying them like drinks and dinner and stuff.
You think it's really going to work that way?
It'll definitely work. That's how trickle-down economics works. Anyway, let's take a quick pause for a word from our sponsor.
Tonight's episode of Between Two Ferns brought to you by the University of Phoenix online MBA program. University of Phoenix. Who's laughing now?
Oh, I thought this was an economics school. Hey, can you see if my mom put those Hot Pockets in the microwave yet? Yeah, I'll put some pants on. And yeah, the ad's still rolling. Cool. All right.
I should have seen that one coming up.
Is that just what you wear all the time?
Look here, Booth, let me tell you just what's up. First I'll break it down for you, then I'll really turn it up. I know you're not one for conceptual exploring, so I'll tell you to you straight, Booth, dude, you're boring. The economic school, quant this, quant that, but it's a miracle if you can make it through a coffee chat. I'd offer to help you out, be your friend, be a guide, but I'm not risking a trip down to the south side. I'm just getting started, I'm about to tear you down. You live in the loop, and after 5, ghost town. Why don't you random walk, use your motor cortex before I blow you away just like a polar vortex? And since you never leave home, I'm not sure that you're aware. There's a global pandemic, it's a really big scare. We're locked in our apartments, and not to be uncouth, but now I know what life would be like if I gotten into Booth. Or like if I decided to go. I don't know if I applied. Social fit was really big for me. I love
it. Here we go again, Kellogg marketing, how fun. Thing is, that's a claim that can be made by anyone. Newsflash, cousin, every single school can drink. We just got other stuff to talk about. It's not a missing link. I already see you shivering. Draped in cold sweat, friend to friend, stop this battle before I fill you with regret. You're gonna get crushed by these invisible hands, sent back home defeated, just like Battle of the Bands. Such a marketing genius. Come on, spin this story. You live in a suburb. All that fun is migratory. Hey, friend, let's go out. Yeah, woohoo, super. Too bad each way is a 30-minute Uber. The brand building school, that's your claim to fame. So how is it you couldn't think up a better name? Is it too late to change it? Reverse your mistakes? I mean, are we talking about business or frosted flakes? Let me pull up the rankings. Let me settle this debate. All right, Booth up at the top, and you're right.
Hey, that's just rude. Beep, beep, boop, RoboSchool coming through. And in case you didn't get it, I was pretending to be you. You're a computer school, a commuter school, an awkward, can't talk to the recruiter school. And frankly, man, while you're shut in all on making models, the party school supreme is popping bottle after bottle. Sure, you guys have your parties, TNDC, how clever, got your drinking club co-chairs, or, you know, whoever. We're a business school with parties you can only aspire to, but don't worry, Mr. Quant, if I need a nerd, I'll hire you.
Got him.
Kellogg drinking's in your jeans, DNA, double helix. But show me one vodka that can out your Gallon Felix. Come downtown, party up. But when it's last call and the lights go up, he comes in like a wrecking ball. Now let's talk about you and wrap up the Seagull trip. New building on the lake looking like a spaceship. Tell me what's it all about? I mean, look, I know it's pretty, but does it take you to a planet where Evanston's a real city? How about instead of a ship, we take a ride in a DeLorean and watch his booth stacks with 7 Nobel laureates. Before you start dreaming that you'll be hiring me, man, check out the rankings. Look at my spot admiringly. Business Week, Bloomberg, Economist, ask around. Watching from the middle, I'm at the top being crowned.
Good evening, I'm Cliff Winchester, and welcome to Sports Center. As sports have been canceled for the notable future, we here at ESPN have been desperately grasping at straws for ways to keep you, the viewer, entertained.
With limited forms of competitions continuing to occur, we've decided to follow around a consulting hiring manager as they interview candidates. On tonight's Not Top 10, we are bringing you the absolute lowlights from the interview trail. Starting out at number 10, we have Awkward Alan. Let's go take a look.
Good morning, Alan. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Mr. Longstreet. Thank you for this opportunity, sir.
Please, people call my dad, sir. I'm just Dick.
Okay, Dad. I mean Dick. Sorry about that.
Hey, no worries. It happens to all of us.
Your dad abandoned you too?
What?
What?
Ooh, that's gonna be a hard one to recover from. Let's move on.
So why our firm then?
I think for me, it has to be the local staffing model. I love the way that Bain really makes you feel.
Ooh, Bain. You know this is a McKinsey interview, right?
The firm name mix-up. You hate to see that. On to number 8.
But that's not terribly meaty. We could also do neither. I'm going to call that option C. Yeah. Really great. I think we've got some choices here. How do you feel about option A?
I don't know.
Okay. So not A. So great. Go. Yeah. So now we've got a 50-50 shot between B and C. I gotta say I'm leaning B. Option C just doesn't seem like we're doing enough to turn this around. What are your thoughts?
This is your case, Manny. I'm interested in what you think.
Right. I think it's definitely not C, which means it must be option B. But that's also what you wanted me to think because it's a trap answer, so it's definitely option A.
How about option D? The unemployment line. All right, let's move on to number 7.
Thanks for coming in. How are you doing today?
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing great. Why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yes, how about we get started?
Okay. Why do you want to work for us?
That's a great question. Why don't you tell me why you love me working here?
Are you asking me to answer this question for you?
Why not?
What do you think your biggest challenge will be joining this team?
Since you already work here, why do you think that would be my biggest challenge joining this team?
Please leave.
Ooh, man, I think the biggest challenge might be even joining the team in the first place, don't you think? Number 6.
All right. Well, tell me about a time where you overcame adversity.
Sure. Great question. When I was younger, I actually had a degenerative condition that required me to wear braces on my legs. And it was really tough emotionally, and it was really hard to make friends. And one time, these kids were actually chasing me and throwing rocks at me, really hard to make friends. And so I was so scared, and I just started running. And I ran so fast. And I kid you not, the braces, they fell right off. They just fell off. And I have been running ever since.
Wow. That's such an incredible story. You're an inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just fortunate, I guess. I think sometimes life's obstacles are life's greatest gifts.
Wow, well put. So I guess moving forward, tell me about a time where you had to work with a difficult teammate.
I was in my past position and I was really close with my boss, Andy, like really close. And then he brought in another gentleman from the aerospace industry. And this guy, you know, he thought he had all of these crazy capabilities that were just going to help him soar to the top of the organization. And, you know, there were really artificial capabilities actually. And so, you know, he didn't realize the gravity of it. And I had to really talk him through it. And once he accepted that and I accepted him, you know, we really had a positive relationship and were able to accomplish so much, you know, infinity and beyond, if you will. So it was really positive.
Have you just been summarizing Tom Hanks movies?
What? No. Toy Story was animated. Tom Hanks isn't in it, technically.
You should have picked Sully. Woof. On to number 5.
Wow, really great job on the case. So just to wrap this all up, do you recommend they move forward with the plan?
Yeah. Although the additional profits we're going to make by implementing my recommendation are stellar, they aren't going to matter after Joe Biden wins and his VP raises corporate tax. Your company's going to be a dumpster fire. It's going to be nationalized. All a bunch of commie bullshit after the global elite Illuminatis. To wake up, America. America first is the only recommendation I'm making. Trump 2024.
Should have seen it coming when he says he plays the xenophobe on his resume. Turns out it wasn't a xylophone typo. On to number 4.
Let's try some brainstorming then. How do you think we can cut costs at our summer camp?
Well, we could stop serving breakfast.
Okay, what else?
Great question. Okay, let's get rid of the air conditioning.
What else?
Interesting. Let's cancel parent visitation weekend. The counselors are their family now.
What else?
We could improve space efficiency by having all the kids share beds.
What else?
What the fuck else do you want from me? Go ahead and put the kids in cages.
Yes. Wow, you're hired. Welcome to McKinsey.
Oh, yikes. I think that's bad enough to round out the rest of the list. I can't handle any more of this. So on that depressing note, we now return you to our rerun of the 2017 Cat Herding Iowa State Championship. Back to the studio.
Our story is set in ancient Greece. All the Greek senators have gathered in Athens to discuss a new system of government. They call it democracy.
Hear ye, hear ye. I, Sophocles, now call this Senate session to order. And the first item on our agenda is...
Senator Sophocles, enough! There are urgent issues I must speak to immediately.
Oh, for the love of Zeus, not Demetrius again.
Please, senators, Demetrius a chance. I, for one, would like to hear what he has to say.
My fellow senators, I fear that the very foundations of our newly created democracy are at stake.
Oh, Athena, goddess of wisdom and virtue, please give me the strength to deal with Demetrius today.
I am, of course, talking about the town hall coup d'etat orchestrated by the evil military general we know as Dean Rajan. Can't you see that he's trying to usurp power from the people?
To quote the most eloquent poet of TNDC, Christina Bakhtina, Demetrius, you ask exhausting questions because you are an exhausting human being.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Nobody has ever said that.
Demetrius, why must you always be so controversial?
It's because he's just a big troll.
Troll!
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 Fool!
Wait, what? No, Demetrius, we're talking about you.
Enough with this nonsense. Were it not for me, the whole land of Chicago Bull would have quickly descended under the tight hands of a tyrant, of a dictator.
God, why do you do this to us? Why do you send us this wretched troll Demetrius to Earth? Are you having fun watching all of this insanity from your lofty perch in Mount Olympus?
Very good. And now can we please get back to our agenda? We have several issues here that we need to
My
focus
comrades,
on.
in freedom and justice, when are we going to overthrow the corrupt priests of GBC? And most importantly, the high priestess of corruption. Yes, you know who I'm talking about, you know. That Jenna Stanger.
Senator Demetrius, there are actual issues that we need to focus on. You did.
Let us never forget how GBC came to be through some elections. I have asked multiple times for the election results. Why are they not releasing them? What are they hiding?
Demetrius, what is the purpose of these inflammatory statements? By means of prolonging the sessions, do you merely seek to make us late to these Thursday night toga parties?
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame!
Shame.
Shame!
Shame.
Yes! Creating angry mobs is my dream!
Senators, please, let us remain calm. Conduct yourselves in a dignified manner.
Thank you, Senator Sophocles. And there are many topics I wish to speak about. And first, let's start with great non-disclosure. What about the way we're...
I couldn't stand him any longer. I had to put him on mute.
That's too bad. I actually found him to be quite entertaining.
Well, finally, we can get the Senate session started. Let's see now. The first item on our agenda is
Give me a series of funding. My business is growing, I need some cash flowing. So give me a series of funding. Come on honey, give me money. VC loving, just fund me.
I wanna work with you, yeah. I wanna work with you, yeah. I wanna work with you, yeah. If I gave you a 1 in 10 share, would you please fund me? If I gave you 2 seats on the board, would you please fund me? Not just money, I'd rather you trust me than to fund me. But that trust long term for the minute I need that funding. EBITDA's great, hey. Hold up. Healthy growth rate, margins first rate, LTV, let's get it. CAC, I'm with it. Ratio 3.7. Got my clients for life, yeah, client for life, yeah, client for life. We did it. Value chain is lean, that cap table clean. C-suite very keen, and I know what you need. Already got 3 syndicate agree, still waiting for a lead. That's all we need. Join up and make us into we. If I still had student loans, would you please? If I minimize my net worth, would you please? Of course, things are going great, I just need you to. Sure, there have been a couple bumps, I'll tell you once you fund me.
So give me a series of funding. Make me somebody, no more ramen slumming. Just give me a big lump of money. Office truly feeling bougie. feeling bougie. Just find me.
I need a loan from you, please. I need a loan. I need a loan from you, please. I need a loan. I need a loan from you. So Series B, I need some more money, you see. The budget got away from me, but nothing crazy. I don't want pressure, you none, but I need that funding today. Oh, by the way, please just ignore that ashtray. I am completely healthy, not stressed at all. Just green tea and namaste. I know that sounds so cliche. Damn it, I'm rambling. Well, see, the truth is we're cramming. All of our devs are programming, just humming along. Our sales team is banging the gong. Got a table for ping pong. I had to buy it. My staff was about to riot. Losing my mind, can't deny it. What was I saying? Well, that's right, everything's great. No one trying to litigate. No. If I didn't have a day runway, would you still? Not saying that's true, but please will you just fucking take 1/3, I just need you to take the whole damn thing. I'm fucked if you don't fund me.
Give me some Series B funding. Give me that funding, that sweet precious funding. Please just give me that money. No, don't leave me, come on, feed me. Don't be greedy. Just fund me.
I need money from you, please. I need money from. Spare change is okay too, please. Spare change. Would Venmo work for you?
Just fund me.
Hey everyone, give it up for Follies 2020. It's been a hell of a year. Follies has been our pride and passion, and we want to first and foremost thank you so much for watching our show. While this format was not our original plan, we hope we were able to still bring you some joy in these crazy times.
We would like to thank the cast for all of their talents and their time this season, putting things together in a way we did not expect. We also want to thank our writers, our filmers, and our editors for throughout the year, taking their crazy ideas and putting them into a format that works from your couch. We love seeing the way that the diverse talents of our community come together to make this show a reality.
I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Common Bond for sponsoring our show. Because our costs went to basically zero this year, I just ended up using their money on hair dye. I'd like to thank Dean Cole for being a good sport. I'm honestly shocked that you agreed to participate in our videos. I'd like to thank Dean Rajan for not suing us, and I'd like to thank my mom for believing in me.
Hey guys, just need to read a few quick disclaimers. 1, Follies does not endorse any presidential candidate in the 2040 elections. 2, Demetrius's views are purely entertainment and not reflective of Follies management. 3, Follies does not recommend drinking anything World Stride sends you, so please don't. And lastly, Follies does not support giving Blake or Summit any money, so please don't pay them. Please direct any questions and or complaints you have about the show to the first-year co-chairs, because frankly, we don't care.